The entire tour, please stay seated. Keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times. The studio is a private property, so if you drop anything off the side of the tram or just really need to use the restroom, pull the cord to remain seated. Please don't smoke of any kind during the tour, and be prepared. Our tour today features loud noises, fire effects, and many water effects. So there's a chance you might get wet. And there are also sudden tram movements during the tour, so secure your personal belongings and hold on. Finally, for your safety knows around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you're on board. In a world where we leave a theme park, but we head into the heart of the TV film studio that's been around for 110 years. On your left-hand side, we are passing by a little bit of construction for our new Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift roller coaster coming soon. On your right-hand side, we are passing by a series of movie posters, and this is our Universal timeline. It's a representation of the few of the thousands of films that Universal has produced in the last 100 years or so. Starting in 1914 with our very first film, Damon and Pythias. But it wasn't until the 1930s that Universal received their first Academy Award for Best Picture and Best Director for the film, All Quiet on the Western Front, directed by Lewis Milestone. Also coming up on your right-hand side, you're about to see our very own fire station. This fire station has been here since the beginning of Universal Studios. It's called Fire Station 51 to pay homage to Station 51 and the television series Emergency. But they're a real functioning fire station here to keep us safe. But everyone, you came on a very special day within a very special year, because Universal Studios is a part of NBC Universal, which is one of the world's leading entertainment companies, which includes Universal Pictures, Focus Features, Peacock, and NBC Television. And this year, NBC is celebrating its 100th anniversary. From trailblazing radio and television, to launching The Today Show, The Voice, Saturday Night Live, The Office, and The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, and so many beloved shows in between. NBC has been the home of sports, entertainment, and news for an entire century now, and we're celebrating the network all year long. And thank you for helping us celebrate just by gracing us with your presence here today. But everyone, the lot we're going to enter has two sections. We have our front lot and our back lot, and we're now entering our front lot that has a majority of our 36 sound stages. Now, the first sound stage you're seeing is on your left-hand side. We got sound stage 12. It's one of our largest, most historic stages here on the lot. A lot of productions have filmed on stage 12, including our classic monster movies like Dracula and Frankenstein. And if you were here a couple years ago for Halloween Horror Nights, the Eternal Bloodlines house is located right here at Soundstage 12. But what is a soundstage? A soundstage is a large building where indoor filming takes place. They're about 98% soundproof, so productions don't have to worry so much about outside noise interrupting inside filming. Plus, you can create any kind of setting that you can imagine inside of a soundstage, like Frankenstein's lab, Dracula's castle, Scarface's mansion from the film Scarface, the visitor center in Jurassic Park. All of those sets that I just mentioned were built right inside of Soundstage 12. On these stages here on your left-hand side, these were used recently for the show Bel-Air. And Bel-Air is a dramatic reboot of the 90s sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, starring Jabari Banks, Ollie Soliton, and Coco Jones, and they recently wrapped on filming their final season. So if you'd like to see Bel-Air, it is streaming on Peacock, NBC's very own streaming service. As we pass by these stages, you may also notice these very large doors. They're called elephant doors, because way back when, in the silent movie era, we had animals on the lot for our movies and our westerns, and we needed doors big enough to fit the elephants, so hence the term elephant doors. But nowadays, they're more commonly used for loading in large sets, large set pieces needed for the shows or movies that are filming inside. Now, another show that films here on the lot a lot is a show called Hacks, starring Emmy Award winners Jean Smart and Hannah Einbinder. Really fun show to watch, especially after the studio tour, because they film all over the lot. So you might recognize some familiar locations from our tour today when you watch Hacks later on HBO Max. When we pass by these sound stages, there's also this red light above some of the doors to enter these sound stages. And those red lights are called wigwags, and they serve a purpose. So if you're ever on the lot and you see that light, a solid red or flashing red, that means there's active filming going on inside of the sound stage, and you won't be able to enter or exit that sound stage until that light goes off. But on your left, we have Soundstage 14, one of the many sound stages that were used when they were filming Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by Ron Howard. Because when they were filming on the lot, they used a majority of our sound stages, including Soundstage 14, which is used to house Mount Crumpet, the mountaintop lair where the Grinch lived. And Ron Howard is no stranger to this lot or to Soundstage 14, because he also used that soundstage for his film Apollo 13. But of course, Soundstage 14 was also used for TV shows like Superstore and The Mindy Project. Matter of fact, these soundstages have been home to many classic TV shows as well, like The Jeffersons, One Day at a Time, Who's the Boss, Martin, Coach, the list goes on. These stages approaching on your right-hand side, these were used recently for a show on Peacock. It's called The Paper. And The Paper is a mockumentary series based in the same universe as The Office. So if you enjoy shows like The Office and Parks and Recreation, you should check out The Paper if you haven't already. And here is Chelsea Fry and Oscar Nunez from The Paper to tell you more.
Hi, Studio Tour. We're here in the lot where we filmed The Paper, which follows our characters' day-to-day lives as employees of a struggling newspaper, the Toledo Truth-Teller.
That's right. Unlike many other TV shows, The Paper uses multiple cameras and a variety of shot types and movements to give our show a true documentary feel.
Because the camera is always around whenever we're on the set, it's important that we stay in character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oscar, what's your favorite part of working on the lot?
I wasn't expecting you to ask me that question. You know what? I love being around talented, wonderful, hilarious...
Actually, I'm going to pause this for just a moment because we have a celebrity here on your left-hand side. Ted from the Ted Films and the series on Peacock. Now, Ted was created by Seth MacFarlane, the same creator of the animated series Family Guy and American Dad. And you can now catch the second season of Ted streaming on Peacock. But back to you, Chelsea Fry and Oscar Nunez from The Paper.
I also get to work with Chelsea Fry. How about you, Chelsea? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love waving to the trams.
Oh. Okay. You can probably stop waving now.
No, it's fun. Let's try it.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's try it. It's great.
All right, on your left-hand side, we're passing by the production bungalows. Now, this is where our top writers, directors, producers in town come here to work their magic, develop their ideas, and get their scripts into shape. Because before the cast and crew can be assembled inside one of our sound stages, there's a pre-production phase that happens first. And that includes scripting, budgeting, casting. And that's what happens here on your left-hand side. And we also have production companies residing right here in the bungalows. One of them being Mark Platt Productions. And that is the same production company that has brought us Wicked, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Michelle Yeoh, Jeff Goldblum. And don't miss out on Wicked for Good, now streaming on Peacock. We also have Illumination Entertainment here in the bungalows, and they're the same company that has brought us Despicable Me, the Minions movies, Sing, Secret Life of Pets. Also coming up on your left, you'll see stages 25 and 26. And these stages look a little different from the other sound stages because there's production offices, dressing rooms in the front, and the sound stages are in the back. Now, these stages were first used for Hairspray Live in 2016, but currently they're being used for a workplace comedy called St. Denis Medical.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center.
St. Denis Regional Medical.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man! That was a test!
We're the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want him to get better.
Pale, kind of blotchy.
It's the other one.
Oh my God, that's much worse. Wow.
All right, but it looks like we are leaving our front lot, but we're entering the back lot where the world is literally around the corner because we're entering our metropolitan sets that take up 4 acres of our back lot. And this is where a majority of our outdoor filming takes place because where you can find buildings like hotels, banks, movie theaters, restaurants, hospitals, anything you can find in a major city or small town anywhere in the world. On your right, the hospital facade was made for St. Denis Medical. Also on your right, we have a couple of geese here at Central Park. And behind Central Park, we have Brownstone Street. And many people still recognize Brownstone Street from the film Bruce Almighty.
Grace, the dog! I'm in the shower! Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good. Oh, you're done now. B-E-A-U.
Now we're headed towards Courthouse Square that you'll likely recognize as Hill Valley from Back to the Future, starring Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and Leah Thompson. Now this building on your left features the famous clock tower in Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2. It was also the courthouse in the classic film To Kill a Mockingbird. It's the high school in the Ted series. You may also recognize this area as Kingston Falls from the movie Gremlins. Or maybe it's a 1940s Los Angeles and Marvel's Agent Carter. But I think this area is prominently known for Back to the Future.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up at the clock tower on that ledge. It was a ledge about that wide. And I was standing inside, looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand on that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
Now, any close-up scenes of Christopher Lloyd on the clock tower is actually filmed inside of Soundstage 12. A shout out if you were here last year for Universal Fan Fest nights, where guests were able to explore this part of the back lot and be a part of Back to the Future. Everyone, we're headed into one of the busiest streets that we have here on our Metro sets, New York Street. It's so busy, so popular, that even reality competition shows like American Ninja Warrior has filmed on this very street. But right now, New York Street is kind of looking like a ghost town. And that's a job for production design. Their job is to set the scene and bring these large exterior sets to life. So while we're here on New York Street, you just think of any major city in the world, and what would you do to New York Street to make it look like that major city? What kind of signage would you add, or vehicles? What time period would you choose? The future, the past, the present? For example, if this was downtown LA, I would add a lot of metered parking and court buildings. I want it to be very obvious and on the nose that it's downtown LA. I might add an exterior that looks like the Grand Central Market. However, this is New York Street, so my co-host Jimmy Fallon has to be around here somewhere.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City.
I'm walking here! I'm walking here!
Hey, it's cool guys. I was just, just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
So in this scene, they brought New York Street to life by adding people walking by, a vehicle. Even though that taxi cab was half of a vehicle, it still counts as a picture car. And a picture car is any vehicle featured on screen, so not just a car or a truck, but a picture car can be a boat, an airplane, a helicopter, even this tram has been a picture car a few times. Back in the day, the tram looked like a candy cane, and this is a retired effect of the studio tour, the Parting of the Red Sea. Shout out if you were here for the Parting of the Red Sea, but it was a part of the studio tour. I will point out this body of water during our tour today because it still exists. Alright, but it looks like we are leaving the concrete jungles of our New York Street. But just up ahead is the actual jungles of Skull Island. Now, coming up on your right, you'll see a couple more retired effects of the studio tour. We have the runaway train and the collapsing bridge. Now, the runaway train used to hurtle towards the guests during the tour at our western sets. And the collapsing bridge, the tram used to go over it and it will give the illusion that it was about to collapse. Again, shout out if you were here for either of those retired effects.
Remember those? But we used to go through there,
Nice.
right? We would go in those dinosaurs.
But everyone prepare as we enter the jungles of Skull Island.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. And to me, Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. And it's great to have you along for the ride. We're about to return to Skull Island.
Okay, but before we do that, important things to remember. Remember to remain seated, arms and legs in the vehicle at all times. Secure your personal belongings, because if they fall on Skull Island, it's a little harder to retrieve. Always hold on while the tram